Okay, so the first recording got corrupted, so this is actually take 2. Yeah, hi, I'm Zurudu. I've started making Strinova guide videos and all this kind of content. This is gonna be like a live commentary, like review video. There's a lot of stuff that I missed out on explaining in the Michele video, so this is kind of like a more in-depth reviewish kind of video, seeing things in the moment. I'm not the best at explaining things or teaching things, so let's do this. Here we go. I'm moving up to A to take space, or to defend A. My plan here is to take space in A main, this little like hallway down here, so that if they push, they'll probably have a harder time pushing. And if they don't push, then we own this half of the map, basically. What I should have done right off the bat is communicate to my team that that's what I'm doing. Because here's where the problem arises. If you don't communicate like, oh, I'm gonna push this space to take space, what's going to happen for a lot of rounds on this half is I'm gonna be up here taking space, and there'll be someone all the way back here watching it as if there wasn't anyone taking space. I should probably hide this. How do I hide this? So if the Nobunaga is staying here, which he is, this is first round, he can't teleport yet. He is going to be staying here. He's effectively spectating me. What I should be telling him is, hey, I'm gonna push this. Either he can push with me, or he needs to hold mid. Right here, we don't have anyone holding middle. We do have a Celestia watching middle. I wouldn't call it holding middle. But in this case, since I'm pushing, this Nobunaga back here is not doing anything. If I got into a big fight right here already, let's say 2 of them push through here, 3 of them push through down here, I'm gonna be struggling while Nobunaga is just at the back watching me get wrecked. I can tell that there is a Loin back here. Loin's being distracted by Nobunaga, and she decides to back off. Where did I go? Oh, I'm up here at the window. So Loin decides to back off, go to mid, and regroup with her teammates. While I'm climbing up through the flank. I see them, I see a lot of them. I'm waiting for a decent moment and peek. In this moment, I didn't want to just charge in and have all of them turn around at me. Because if I decided to shoot at them the moment I saw them, what would happen is that I'd have 3 people turn around and shooting at me. Not great. While I'm flanking up behind, Meredith has already made it up through short and onto A. But, yep, right there. If I had peeked any sooner, I probably would have gotten shot at again, and I would have lost the 1v1. But there's more of my teammates coming up here. I didn't want to trust them to the point where I was like, alright, I'm the distraction, you guys pushing. It's more effective if the larger clump of players is the distraction and you've got one guy coming up from behind to just shoot at them. It just flows a little better that way. I hear the Meredith planning at A. We're going over to rotate. Meredith decides to take up the spot behind this little box here. What is this called? It's just control room. It's all control room. And place a turret for info, cross for info, and then now we know where Meredith is. She's just back there. She's exposed herself. Probably should not have peeked so soon, because she's fighting a 1v5. She only knows that I just ran through short, and the rest of my team had just finished off her team here. What the responsible thing would have done, I would have done, is on attacking is I would have put the bomb here, and I would have held all the way back in here. Waited for them to start defusing, peek, or like windstorm the bomb so that we can't defuse. I'd peek, take shots, try hold off anyone who tries to push in, although that is way easier said than done, especially if you don't have any grenades. But yeah, I would have planted for myself in this situation, or planted for a safest position. In this case, she is needlessly peeking this side, whereas instead, what she should have been doing is make enough noise here to threaten the position, then go rotate all the way around back here to punish me who's defusing. What's going on here? This round I notice I'm here on A main trying to take space again. To explain my turret positioning, I like to put one up in this corner of this room just to treat it more like a tripwire. If they do decide to take up this room, I will at least know. And I'll leave my other two turrets, or just one turret, up here on this little slanted, like, wall thing. What even is this? But, yeah, I'll leave it up here so that when they start walking in, they'll get beamed. And they'll be a little more inclined to shoot at it. And if they do, I will be stringified up on this wall, pop out if they do shoot at it. That does come in a little more play in a later round, which I will show in a moment. But this round, they've decided to give up A main to take control of middle and B main. What's going on here? Meredith hasn't noticed me. I see the Celestia. I hear the Lorwyn coming over. And Meredith's taken control of A. So what they've done is that they've threatened on B. They've used Economy and a Ming to threaten on B. Economy's watching the long sight, and Ming's taking up close, which is signs of a B push, which is why the majority of my team have quickly rushed over to defend it. Whereas the rest of the team have decided to hold lockdown mid, watch for any rotates. But what they've done is that they've given up A main. Personally, for this kind of defense, or this kind of passive setup, I would have put maybe one person on A. Just maybe one person on A. Or at least to keep track of if anyone decides to push through. Like behind this wall, you get a decent view into that little pocket area. You get to see if anything gets placed on the side as well. But unfortunately, they've not. And which leads to this situation. Granted, I don't secure the kill, but now two of the rotators are late. Meredith's isolated, so our team's going in to deal with the bomb, but I've forced the attention of, I think, the majority of that team. Now, Kanami's ignoring me, but we've got two of them. I've deployed my turret to prevent them from further pressuring me. And I'm moving up to trade damage with the ultimate. Again, I'm treating the ultimate like another player. It should be. It should be treated like another player when you're playing around it. It's going to draw attention, and it's your bait. You should be using it as much as possible, because what people don't realize that even though it has aimbot and deals half your health in a single beam in less than a second, what people don't realize is that the person who put it down is still the bigger threat. Is still the way bigger threat. So, in this case, they're still shooting at the bot. And here, I'm getting free shots on the Lorwyn. Lorwyn's down. Celestia's trying to now shoot at me. And now, here, we've swapped roles. I'm playing as the bait, while my turret swaps their lock-on target to the Celestia instead. Let's watch that again. The turret takes a huge chunk of damage, but they have to reload. So in that short reload period, I'm over here taking space for the turret. Loin's still distracted by the turret, so I get to finish her off for free. And this is where the turret and I swap roles, I guess, swap positions. On the next peak, I'm going to be playing as the bait. Celestia unpeaks. Loin peaks to take aggro for the turret, gets finished off because of it. And now I'm moving in because the turret is not a direct threat at the moment. She's shooting at me, but I'm stringified, so I'm giving her a hard time hitting me. She does land some shots, but as soon as the turret starts locking onto her... Actually, hang on. Here's the question. Why do I decide that is a good time to unstringify? Let's see. Okay. What should have happened here, what I should have done, is that I should have waited for her to stop shooting, or move her shooting to the turret. I'm stringified, I'm very safe. The turret's going to start doing the damage for me at some point. And so it does. What would have happened if I stayed stringified is that the turret starts beaming at her, and she probably unpeaks to reload. She probably goes behind a cover to empty out the rest of her gun or to reload. And at some point, she's going to reload. What I'm going to do during that time while she's reloading is unstringify and shoot her. Because that is the safest time for me to do that. It could have been played better, and I took a huge risk there. But I think that was because I was hasty to try take backside. We know that Kanami's in this little side room here. And that's an easy shot. She's distracted. Yeah, she's distracted, and I'm already there.
3, 2, 1.
Ping that I'm going to attack here. Deploy my turrets. I get scanned by the Loin. Not good. So they now know I'm here. And I make a really dumb move of trying to move up to this pillar. What I should have done, I had the perfect opportunity to shoot out that dart, or that throwing knife, and run. Just book it. I got super punished because I tried to push and got slowed for it. So ultimately, what I should have done in this position, I'm safe right now. I turn around, I shoot the knife. That's what I should have done, and I should have started to back off. Instead, for some reason, I decide to walk up and get punished for it. On top of that, our Audrey is still all the way back here. She's not doing anything. Okay, so this is editing Zurudu here. If I had retreated, I would have fallen back into Audrey's like safe zone area. I guess that's the best way to describe it. So she would have been able to keep the pressure off my back while I fell back into sight. Let's watch what she does while I'm pushing in. She's watching an area that we already have space of. We've already taken control of this space, effectively. She's, one, watching over a space that we already have control of and have confirmed that it's open, clear, at the moment. Secondly, even if someone were there, her crosshair's not trained on that moment, on that area. Her crosshair should be up in this window. Or on this right side, next to this wall. And she's not watching this right side of the site. She's giving up control of the site and then gets pushed out. Her position is pretty threatened by the Ming, by the Loin and the Meredith coming up the side. She doesn't really do anything, which is a shame. Let's fast forward to the next round. Because in this round, I tell the Audrey to come push up with me. Yeah, so you see Audrey's coming to walk up. We've got presence from the Loin. Not a terrible turret position, but it could be better. We also have our Celestia pushing with me. Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So as Michele here, I'm placing my turret to take space again. I'm playing in a more passive position back here. So that if I do get pushed out, it's safer for me to retreat. I've deployed my turrets. Meredith's kind of distracted, but I don't have a good line of sight on her to really punish. I get smoked out, so I'm backing out. We tried fighting for the space, but it didn't quite work out. But in exchange, our pressures caused them to really, well, to get stalled. Their Ming's coming around the corner back here. I'm pretty sure, no, I win the 1v1. That's nothing, that 1v1's nothing really to do with, oh, that's me playing Michele. It is really just a, hey, I feel like someone's flanking right now. Because we've put so much pressure on main, it's understandable that the flank tries to do something about it. In the case of playing a defender, you've got to understand that when you're applying pressure on the enemy's offense, they will probably send someone around somewhere else on the map to pincer you, I think is the word. Which is the right thing to do. To people who don't have quite the game sense, or newer players, or any those kind of people who don't know the timings, this is something that comes down to experience. It's not something you can just like click, you know it, and he's there, right? In the case of playing Michele, to help in this position, you'd put down like a turret on the flank. But here, I'm using all my turrets to apply pressure to the main area. And here, we've taken out their flank. They don't know what to do. We still have the numbers advantage, and they are kind of just idling in the hallway. And so they've decided, okay, we can't win this fight. There's 4 of them there, there's 2 of us. We're going to rotate. I go up for info, and I see both of them there. And they've, from this point, decided that they don't want to rotate. I've pushed in. See, Kanami's distracted. Just for a moment, and Celestia's opening fire at me. She stopped shooting. I try to take advantage of the moment to push the Kanami. My teammates already have taken care of her. No problem. And at this point, the Celestia is just low, and we can finish her off easy. That round went a lot smoother. Let's go back and watch the Audrey.
Final round.
Audrey in the previous round was not really doing that much, so let's watch how she helps me apply her pressure. Michele isn't a one-man army. I've said in my guide video as well, is that the best way to beat Michele is to overrun her, to bring all your friends, because she's not good at dealing with large crowds of enemies. The most she can do is get shot at and tell her teammates that she's in danger. That's the most she can do. She can't take on a lot of enemies at once. You can try isolate a 1v1, but when it comes to a full team pushing a single player, I think the turret is going to be the least of their worries. They're going to focus the player, and at best, you'll have one less player to deal with because they're shooting out the turrets. That's it. Our Audrey deploys a turret. She's spraying down window. That's good. She's applying large pressure on window, but she gets naded out. She gets naded out, smoked out, and one-wayed, which is not her fault. That's not something she can really control. What I would have done is I would have deployed my turret along this line here, so that if I'm really in too much danger and we need to back out, I can at least slide my turret into cover and undeploy. You'd still be able to put as much pressure as you want to into this window room onto anyone who tries to push in. But instead, we had an Audrey who tried to take too much space and not really worry about the consequences. She's new. I don't blame her very much. But if I was playing Audrey in this situation, I'd line up next to this kind of wall here. In this last round, I am making a read. My read was that, okay, they got folded on A. They didn't even make it onto site. They're feeling really bad about the A push, and they're thinking, oh god, what if they do it again? So they decide, let's go B instead. The enemy team has decided, let's go B. This kind of read only really works in lower ranked games where people kind of auto think where they want to go. So what I do instead is, instead of going to pressure and push A, I go apply pressure in middle instead. And I see, okay, mid's clear. My team hasn't spotted any presence in A. We've heard gunshots on B. We're going to B. I'm starting the flank. The other two have decided to full rotate with the rest of the team. Good idea. They've just dropped the Meredith ult. And now I deploy my ultimate. I don't even know where that ultimate is. It's all the way up there. Let me explain what's bad about this. So your ultimate still has the line of sight and vision range as a player inside a Meredith ult. Why am I shooting at this guy? I remember in this moment, I've got walls on people. But I'm trying to remember why. It might be because of the Nobunaga, but I'm shooting because I've got walls on this. Oh, it's because of the EMP ultimate, yes. So I deploy my turret, just so I can get some extra vision inside. The Meredith ult wears out, and this thing is now starting to beam. And we kind of just take control of the site. Let's rewind just a little bit. Here's the Meredith ult. I'm in this 1v1 kind of situation with Kanami, and she's super low. We know where she is. And I jump in to punish. I get punished by the Kanami and realize that there's 3 people inside this one smoke. What would have been better is that if this ultimate was just a little bit more forward onto this ledge up here so it could have a full sight. I did not jump when throwing this, unfortunately. If I had, this would be in a way better position, but we do end up clutching up this round. But to just confirm the round, just to make sure that we did win it, this ultimate should have been a little further up, just so it could see into sight. Then our Audrey just kind of secures the win. Just like that. So yeah, that's about all I've got for this like live commentary kind of thing. I know I didn't cover everything, but I covered just just 2 games, a couple of rounds in 2 games that I think can pretty easily demonstrate how I play Michele and how you can get better as Michele as well.
Bomb carrier knocked down.
So I think, yeah, I'm not too fussy with how this managed to go out. So this was kind of like an on-the-spot decision to record this. So I really hadn't planned anything out. So yeah, again, thank you for the support on the last video. And I'll see you guys when I make my next guide video, which will actually, if you're here watching this, I will be making a guide video on Ica next. As to join the little contest, as my contest submission due December. So yeah, I will see you guys then. Don't forget, I also do stream this game on YouTube. You can see if I've scheduled any streams in the live tab on my channel. So yeah, if you want to see me play this game live and, you know, get some live tips while I'm just playing the game, you can swing by and watch. I will admit, I know theory better than I do know the game in practice. I'm not the best. I wouldn't even say I'm great, but this is like just the kind of simple theory that you can use to elevate your gameplay just that little bit. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and maybe got something out of it. But yeah, if you could I don't know, leave a like, maybe subscribe if you like this kind of content, that would be greatly appreciated. I will be honest, I don't like asking for that. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Bro is actually jerking himself off.
Final round.